Welcome, mamas, to Mami Got This. On today's episode, we're going to talk about the importance of having a healthy microbiome. And for that, I'm joined by an authority in that field. She's Dr. Sandra Rangel. She's a medical doctor, an author of an amazing book that I recommend all of you reading, Nuestros Amigos Invisibles. She's also a holistic speaker and an oncology nutritionist. Sandra, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Maria, for having me. I am very happy to be here.
Okay, Sandra, first, before we get into why it's so important to have a healthy microbiome while pregnant, I want to, if you can give us like a little background on your story, because you have like an incredible story that I think it's going to inspire a lot of people out there.
I graduated as a medical doctor, Maria, in Colombia. I flew to United States because I want to validate my career in United States. And being in that process, in December 2006, I was diagnosed with a stage 3 cancer in the vocal cord. I was in shock. I thought I was healthy. I was doing exercise.
Right.
Always I was in diets.
And you were also a doctor. You're like, exactly. I know about health, right? Or you thought you knew.
Exactly, and I never expected I was gonna get a diagnostic like that. So I was in shock. I went to the best hospital in the world, that is the Memorial Sloan Kettering. At least it's one of the best. And they told me, Sandra, we need to start the treatment immediately. The cancer is very aggressive. And we are gonna do chemotherapy and radiation for 6 months, and after that we will do a surgery. And I was like, okay. I didn't know any better at that moment. I was very skeptical. So I started doing my treatment. They told me all the side effects that were gonna happen. I put everything in God's hands, and I told God, you are not gonna allow any of this happen to me. So I started doing my treatment, and very soon, I guess maybe 1 month and a half, I was very sick because everything got closed. I used to have a feed tube. The pain was very intense, and the side effects they mentioned, like they were very...
Did you lose your hair?
I lost part. They told me I was gonna lose a lot of hair, and that the hair was not going to grow back due to the radiation. And I asked God, if this is for me, please stop the treatment now. Do not allow anything else. After my prayer, I went to the oncologist because I had a chemotherapy session, and he told me, you are very sick, we cannot do anything this week. The following week, he called my ex-husband and I to his office, and he told us, the patient that is doing the treatment at the same time with you is at the intensive care because he got a long hemorrhage. If something happened to you, I quit my career. We have decided we are going to stop your treatment now. And I was like, God, that was my request. Stop the treatment.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it myself. So I assumed, God, you heal me. They were not able to see anything because everything was closed due to the inflammation. So we have to wait around 2 months, something like that. When they checked my vocal cords, they were clean. And all the side effects they told me were going to happen never happened.
Tell me, how did you took that and link it to study the microbiome?
After I went through the cancer, I went to integrative nutrition in Manhattan, and I was blessed that at that moment I was be able to be live with all the doctors. So I got to know Deepak Chopra, Andrew Weil, Neil Bernard, all of them. So my mind was like, okay, there are many things to study. After that, I focused more in cancer with Dr. Andrew Weil, and always in my mind, I was like, I want to write a book with my testimony, my story. And I started doing it. and I was studying a lot to get the book done. I flew to Vienna, and it was a seminar of microbiome. Being over there in Vienna, that was 2016, I was like, this is everything. This is the future of medicine, So I really focused my book in the microbiome. I started studying about all these bacteria, and that was the connection and the transition. And now we know, because the microbiome is a very new topic. It has been around 15 years. When I studied medicine, I didn't know anything about it. And now we know that 90% of our cells are microorganisms.
Wow, 90%.
90%. We are only 10% human. There is no bad bacteria.
Oh, there is no bad bacteria.
No.
Okay.
It's a perfect ecosystem.
I see.
So it's like if you are in the jungle, if you go to the Amazon, you see that there are trees that are taller, other small, and they are there because they need to be there. But it's perfect. Everything is in balance.
Exactly.
To give you an example, Helicobacter pylori, that has been considered for many a bad bacteria.
Yeah, because they cause like stomach issues, that's what they say.
Stomach cancer, and now we know everybody has Helicobacter pylori, belongs to the small intestine. It's very important to help with digestion and other things that we don't even know, because to be honest, we are not able to really study them. Bacteria, we now have some tools, but we don't have tools to study fungi, to study viruses. It's totally new. And they are very smart. They prescribe antibiotics in order to kill this Helicobacter pylori. Those antibiotics not only kill Helicobacter pylori, they destroy the whole ecosystem. So another bacteria start growing, fungi start growing, and causes more dysbiosis, that is imbalance. So that creates a problem.
That's interesting, because one of the things, so when I was pregnant, I had like candida, the yeast like overgrowth. And I remember the doctor immediately, antibiotic, you need to kill it. And I was afraid to take it because I knew I wanted to have a vaginal birth. And I was worried that then the baby would not have the good bacteria in there.
Candida is becoming very popular nowadays, and everybody has been diagnosed with Candida. Candida actually is something that protects us. Candida grows when there are many toxic load in the body. So that is one of the causes. Candida grows to remove all those toxins, and so it helps us. Of course, there is a problem when Candida overgrow. So symptoms start appearing. But what I want everyone to understand is that what is important is to keep the ecosystem, in balance.
And how can you know how your ecosystem is at, and how to keep those bacteria in check?
Symptoms start appearing. Maybe you have heard about leaky gut.
Yes.
It's a new terminology. When I studied medicine, no idea about leaky gut, leaky brain. And bacteria is the one that protect all that lining of the gut. So symptoms like low energy, migraine, hypothyroidism, the people feel maybe foggy, exactly. It's difficult to be focused on things, acne, irritability, blowing, constipation. There are many. It's like, because we are totally connected. It's not like I can see the stomach, the heart, the brain. No, everything is connected.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit during the pregnancy, because I know for me a lot of things change in my body. And I think the pregnancy triggered that, but also because I had some imbalances already. But one of the things that women have that I was diagnosed was gestational diabetes.
Okay.
That happened. And then Hashimoto's.
Okay.
Two things. Two things already. And, the doctors just prescribe you, they gave me some thyroxine for the Hashimoto's, but then for the diabetes, it's like just... don't eat sugars, I was like, but I'm already eating so healthy. I cannot believe I have gestational diabetes.
Yeah.
So what would be some of your protocols or some advice you would give to try to avoid those things?
First of all, before you get pregnant, before you think about getting pregnant, because it's so important to really get conscious about it. 1 year before that, it would be very important to start detoxifying your body.
Okay.
And not only physically, also emotional and in the mind. Because the baby gets all the toxins from the mother. It's amazing. A friend of mine, the other day he was joking and he said the best way for a woman to get detox is to have a baby, because everything, the baby gets everything, emotionally, physically. So at least for 1 year would be very important to really clean and detox. And after you get pregnant. Now we know with the microbiome, every day is a new study. Believe me, I study daily because I am very passionate, not only about the microbiome, I am very passionate about the things that I do, and every day is a new study. When I published my book, we thought that the baby inside was sterile, that there were no bacteria. Now they are not sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But we know that the microbiome of the mother affects directly the development of the baby.
Wow.
And the magazine Nature, that is one of the most prestigious in medicine, published last year how the microbiome of the mother influencing the neurological development of the fetus.
Wow.
That is very important. So I will tell the mother, diet is key. Eat as clean as possible, and our microbiome needs fiber.
Yeah.
Is one of the most important things. Fiber, we are not able to digest it, but the ones that digest that is the gut microbiome.
Microbiome.
Yes, inside of us. So lots of vegetables, fruits, whole foods. Avoid all the packaged, processed. Now everything is so easy. Avoid the microwave. No, eat that as fresh and real as possible.
Go to farmer's market, as much as you can.
Exactly. And lots of vegetables. Some doctors are against whole grains. Others, I can tell you, in my experience with the microbiome, that they are very important for the...
What about gluten? Gluten has caused a lot of controversy. A lot of people is like, you gotta go with the Hashimoto. A naturopathic doctor I visited is like, cut gluten now, and I did, but I don't know if it's good, if it's bad. Like there's like a lot of
gluten. I think, as an opinion, the problem is the glyphosate, the pesticide, because our ancestors, they used to eat wheat all the time, no problems. You are from Europe.
Yeah.
It's a staple.
Yeah.
And I know people with celiac disease, they travel to Europe, they eat pizza, they eat bread, and nothing happened to them.
I see.
And yeah, for me, that is a main
Indicator.
Yes, that is showing us that the main thing is the glyphosate, is what is in the seeds and the wheat, especially United States.
Yeah, because they're like GMO, all of them, a lot. They're like modified.
Exactly. So it's not, gluten has been demonized. It's not the gluten. We have to look for what is the real cause of the problem. So, yes, here in the United States, avoid
gluten.
Avoid gluten. But now that you mentioned that, if you look for gluten-free products, they are worse. Read all the ingredients, things that you don't even know
what they are.
But
this is also a thing as a mom, whenever things fall on the floor, your instinct is, I have to disinfect it. But I because I read about the microbiome, I tell my husband, no, don't clean it. Let him, the house doesn't have anything toxic. So it's good that the baby is building. They're putting things in their mouth for a reason.
Exactly. It's very important to create biodiversity in the microbiome. There are many studies showing that the people in United States, it's sad but it's true, has less diversity in the microbiome, and that made them more easy to get disease. And children here,
they have diabetes already, a lot of kids.
Diabetes, obesity, asthma, allergies. Another big thing, I know cesarean sometimes save the life of the mother, of the children. But I also know that is more convenient. As a doctor, I can tell you that.
Let's say you have to have a C-section for whatever reason. Baby's breech or there is a complication. What can you do to help the baby have because there's one thing that it's like sweeping your... What do you know about that?
Okay, first of all, to explain the audience, the vagina gets prepared with all these microorganisms for the baby. So when the baby crosses the canal, he receives all these microorganisms that are going to prepare him for the environment that he's going to find outside. When the baby is born by C-section, the bacteria he receives is the bacteria in the skin, that is totally different from the vagina, and the bacteria that is in the environment. And honestly, the hospital doesn't have the best bacteria.
And it's sterile also, like they sterilize everything.
Exactly, and if there are bacteria, because there are some bacteria, is the most resistant bacteria, because they have been...
I see.
So, what you can do? You can get a gauze and put it into the vagina for 1 hour. And when the baby is born by C-section, you can put all the gauze around the baby, put it in the nose, in the mouth, in the urogenital area, but in the whole body. And get the baby immediately to the skin, to the mother. Because also the baby gets all the bacteria that is in the mother, at least in the skin, that is different, but it's contact with the bacteria of the mother, the microorganisms of the mother. So that you can do. I don't recommend to do it by yourself, to put the gas. It's better to do it in a hospital and ask for this, Ask the person that is with you, please do this to my baby.
Yeah.
And breastfeeding.
Because breast milk has probiotics.
Yes.
Right? That
has probiotics and prebiotics.
Tell us the difference.
Probiotics is a bacteria. That is the live bacteria. Prebiotics is the food that nourish the bacteria. So the breast milk contains fructooligosaccharides that are like kind of sugar that we are not able to process, but the bacteria gets all this sugar and transform these in essential fatty acids that are very important for the baby.
I see.
So it's a huge difference. There are no formula that compared to
Because
the breast
formula
milk.
doesn't actually have probiotics, right?
Yes.
You would need to add if for some reason the mom cannot breastfeed, it would need to supplement with probiotics, correct? Or what would you say?
The thing with probiotics, because it also now is a marketing around probiotics. Not all of them are good. Not all of them work. Our body is so smart that they don't receive any synthetic.
I see.
So they really need to come from a good brand and live probiotics.
I see.
And my recommendation would be the mother can get a little bit of milk.
Yes.
So she can get all this, like a little bit of the milk and put it in the other one.
No.
So the bacteria start growing there.
I see.
They reproduce very fast. That would be a suggestion.
Okay, that could be it.
But try. The mother can try a little bit.
Exactly.
I'm not a mother, but I know it is possible.
Yeah.
To at least
it's just a
feed the
little
baby.
bit, yeah.
Yes,
absolutely.
a little bit, because it's gonna be, the difference is huge.
Yeah.
Every day there are more studies showing that when the baby is born by C-section and doesn't get any breast milk, develop allergies, obesity,
ADD, this type of things,
autism. Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, let's talk about your book. I love it. Nuestros amigos invisibles.
Yes.
That's true, because you talk in your book about inflammatory foods. You talk a lot about many things. What is one thing that you would highlight from the book? And
I have seen that it's more important what you stop doing in your life that damage the microbiome than the things that you start doing.
Okay.
To take care of. So that would be like, stop damaging, stop practicing things that damage the microbiome. Make sure the quality of the air you breathe, the water that you drink, the food that you have, all the things that damage. With my patients, I treat lots of cancer patients. Maybe they come to me because they know that I went through cancer.
Yeah.
And I tell them, go in contact with nature, because there is no medicine better than grounding. Go and expose yourself to nature. You know, perfect microbiome, the ocean.
I see.
Of course, in the soil, dirt, play with dirt.
We used to play with dirt when we were kids. That's right.
Exactly. Now children, they are not exposed to.
I think there is especially now post-COVID era, that everything is let's hand sanitize. I think there's like a lot of that, and I'm worried that the kids, including my son, that are born in this pandemic, naturally have not been exposed to that many good bacteria, or like all this bacteria, because of the fear of getting COVID. So yeah, I think that's a good takeaway. Is go and play, go with the nature. In the nature, you're not gonna get COVID.
No, nature knows better, and we need to stop this war against the microorganisms.
Yes,
that is. Writing now my second book I am focusing on that, please love our invisible friends. It's very important that you see them as they are us.
Yeah.
So what you put in your skin is as important as the things that you eat. Stop all this sanitizing, excess of hygiene, cleaning all the time. Avoid all that.
Yeah.
Try to, create a healthy environment in your house, the place that you work, and be outdoors as much as you can.
I love that. Like, one of the things we switch now is that we clean the house now with vinegar. We don't use any of those.
Yes, no, fantastic.
Of detergents with a lot of you can tell they have like some toxic things just by looking at the color.
Exactly, and you can see it because I've been seeing with eczema. Lots of kids now with eczema, the skin. And I remember one mother, the baby with eczema, and I was like, what are you putting in him? She was like, oh no, I need to sanitize him. And I told her, that is the cause.
Yeah.
That is what is causing all this damage in the microbiome. So stop doing that.
Yeah, and stop, like, all this kills 99% bacteria. When you read that, like, throw it away.
Yes, I only use coconut oil in my skin.
Yeah.
Do not put anything in your skin that you cannot eat.
That's a good advice. That don't, if you cannot eat it, don't put it.
Exactly.
Because you don't know when you're like putting some makeup products or some like shampoos or things. If you start reading the ingredients, you don't know half of them. They're like have all these fancy names.
Exactly.
They're like made out in laboratory, those ingredients. So yes, I agree with that. I stopped doing. I think I became more conscious of all these things when I was preparing to get pregnant, because I was just seeing all this, parabens and what is that? Oh, that comes actually from like petrol. I was like, I'm putting like these things inside of us, or like hair dyes. All these things have all these really, really toxic things. So watch out for that.
Exactly. And I have nephews, and I love to see them, Maria, like teaching them how to cook. They are all the time telling people, oh, my aunt, she knows about the microbiome. She's talking about bacteria, that they are our good friends. So you can teach your children, to be outdoors. Always I tell them, remove your shoes.
Yeah.
Walk barefoot, in contact with the earth. Do not, because they come from school and they are like, oh, no, we need to clean. And I am like, no, you don't need to. They are our friends. So they get aware.
Yeah.
I think that education, and then actually it's the microbiome that educates the immune system. And it's our responsibility to educate the children.
Yeah.
So they start seeing things in another way, because if not, I don't know, the earth is not going to be able to keep with us.
That's right. We might destroy ours. I mean, we're already doing that, because we see a lot of these chronic illnesses that our ancestors didn't have.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And some people, they are like, oh no, autism has been with us for a long time. It's not due to
vaccination. That's another whole.
That is another thing. It's not due to. And I am like, come on, to diagnostic autism is so easy, because those children, they really call the attention.
Yeah.
It's not like we misdiagnosed that in the past, or that we were not able to see
obvious,
that.
Yeah.
It's obvious.
Yeah.
And now it's like 1 in 36, and in the 70s was 1 in 80,000.
Yeah, there's something we're doing that definitely is not working.
Exactly.
But Okay, well, Sandra, I would talk to you for hours and hours and hours, but we're running out of time. Where do people can follow you? Where do people can buy your book? See, oh, you're part of also a documentary. Tell us all of that. Where can people, know more and contact you? Do you do also sessions aside from?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, I do consultations, online consultations that allows me to be everywhere. Because I am an international speaker and I love to travel. So that's why I set it up in a way that online before COVID. So that was perfect because I was ahead of the time. And they can contact me through my website, www.sandrarangelmd.com. Instagram is one of the things I like the most to post in Instagram. Dr. Sandra Rangel. And the documentary is called Our Little Big Family, or Little Big Family, actually.
Little Big Family, yeah.
Little Big Family. And it's in YouTube for free. It's about the microbiome. It's a beautiful documentary. And yes, I am. You can write me for any questions.
I'm sure I will.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. And guys, we'll see you next time.